Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would put together a look using the fail-safe go-to products that I turn to when I've had a really heavy night, if I've partied a little bit too hard, my skin is looking dry, dull, dehydrated. There are certain things that I use that I fall back on that I know are winners, and they really help me to get the glow back, just to make my skin come alive if it's looking a little bit parched and a little bit worse for wear. So if that's something you'd like to see, then keep on watching. So I'm going to start off by just putting a little bit of the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream on my lips. And this is just to smooth them out, and it contains salicylic acid, so it just kind of smooths them, and it'll give us a nice smooth surface to put the lipstick on later. And then I'm going to use a little bit of my Porefessional Pearl Primer, and this just gives a lovely sort of glow. I wouldn't say it's exactly lit from within, but it's just nice to put on very dull and tired skin, because it just kind of peps it up a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to rub it all over my cheeks and the areas where I've got enlarged pores. So it's my cheeks and my forehead and my chin. And then I'm just going to let that sink in for a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with a very light foundation. So today I'm going to be using my Dior Backstage, and this is great. It's nice and light. If your skin is looking tired, hydrated, dull, you don't really want to plaster it with a thick foundation, because I don't think that hides anything. I think it's just going to make things look a little bit worse. So we want to go for a very glowy, dewy look, just to bring some life back into the skin. So I'm going to give that a good shake, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit onto my hand like that. You can always add a little bit more later. And then I'm going in with my Eco Tools blending sponge. I've done a video on this which I will link up below. It's absolutely fab. I love this sponge. And I'm just going to use this to shear out the Dior Backstage. And it's just giving a very light sheer coverage, just to even out the skin tone. We're not trying to hide anything, we're just trying to disguise it. So there's a subtle difference there, but just smooths out the color, and the pore primer underneath will just help to even out the texture slightly, which is what we want when the skin is tired and dehydrated. So just trying to get it back to a state that is fit for human consumption. And then we are going to go in with a little bit of concealer, just to brighten up the under eye area. And the one that I'm loving at the moment is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Concealer. And I really like this because it's got a lovely applicator, so you don't get it all over your fingers when you're taking it out of the tube. It's got a really nice, you can see how big that is. It's massive. And I just put 2 tiny drops underneath my eyes, 2 tiny dots, because we're not doing, this is not an Instagram fake 20-year-old's makeup. This is real life makeup. And when you get to our age, less is more basically, and you don't need huge amounts of concealer. You just need a little bit. just to hide the shadows, just to gently lighten. So I've hardly used any on there, but that's fine, less is more. And then what I might do is I'm just going to pop a little bit on my forehead just to brighten up that area, but again just a couple of dots like that. And I'm going to use my Eco Tools again, just go in just to add a little bit of lightness to that area, just to try and brighten the face, try and wake it up a little bit. And then I'm going to move on to the eyes. So for the eyes today, I'm going to use my bronzer, and I'm going to use it all over the lid. So I'm taking my Physicians Formula bronzer, and it looks like that. And I find just bronzing the eye area can really make it look nice and awake, and it's quick and easy to do. So you don't need to reach for too many eyeshadows. We're just using what's on hand, but it just kind of defines the crease, defines the eye area without going overboard. It's nothing too drastic. Because also remember, on days that you're tired or you're a little bit hungover, you've had a party, you know, the day after you're not going to really be in the mood to apply a full face of makeup. So these are just little things that you can do that can enhance your skin the morning after, the night before. Yes. And then I'm going to go in with this eyeshadow on the lid, and this is such fun. It's limited edition. It's quite an old eyeshadow, in fact, that I've hung on to because I absolutely love it, and I think it's such fun. The color is just lovely, and for days when you are kind of feeling a bit drab, just adds a nice pop of color. And this is from, they brought out, it was called the holographic range, and they're lovely because they're kind of duochromy. And I just think that they're fun, and who says mature ladies can't wear color? I just think it's really fun, and it'll definitely draw attention away from any of the other aspects of your skin that you're trying to draw attention away from. And it's a lovely summer color as well. It's just nice, and it's just fun more than anything. So just pop a little bit of that on the lid, because after all, we are wanting to make the face look awake, to brighten things up. And this is quite effortless. It's very pigmented. Any blue shadow or green shadow or even an orange shadow would do the trick. Anything that you want to just make the eyes pop. Then I'm going to take my pencil brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of that on the lower lash line, just to bring the look together. And if you didn't want to do this, you could just use a taupey color all over the lid. It doesn't really matter, because you might not be in the mood for anything bright the morning after, the night before. But this is just a fab easy way to add a bit of color, make the eyes pop a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my smudge eyeliner. This is just a gewone dark brown eyeliner, and I just want to darken up the outer corner of the eyes. You could use a shadow to do this. This is just one that I had on hand, and then I'm going to just use it to gently line the upper lid. And then I'm going to take it onto the lower lid, just on the outer third, just to add a little bit of definition there. But we're not going the full hog with liner. You want to keep the eyes open and awake. And so we're just going to line it slightly, just to give a bit of definition there. And then before I finish up the eyes, I'm going to go onto the brows. So I'm going to use my eyebrow spoolie, and today I'm just going to brush them up. I'm not going to apply any, not going to be faff to do any kind of eyebrow pencil. Just going to keep it neat and easy. Just make sure that they're all facing the right direction, and you can add a little bit of brow gel. I would ordinarily add my Benefit brow gel. In fact, I'll put a little bit of this on because this is just absolutely fab. Simple and easy. And then going back to the eyes, I'm just going to put a little bit of a matte highlight just underneath the brow, just to open up the eyes as much as possible. So you can use anything. I'm going in with my Max Factor. This is an old eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to use that color in the very end. It's just a nice matte. It's nothing too hectic. Put some on my highlighting brush. I'm just going to tap off the excess. And then, so it's nothing too hectic. And then what you could do is you could go in with a little bit of highlighter on the inner corner of the eye. I'll just go in with my finger. I'm just going to dab a tiny bit on. So this, I'm going back to the same Max Factor palette, and I'm going to be using the second color from the right. And I'm just going to dab my finger into that, and then I'm just going to gently put it into the inner corner, just to give us a little bit of a highlight there. And then we are going to go in with eyelash curlers. These are quite torturous. These are my Tweezerman eyelash curlers, and they just kind of open up the eye. They just keep the lashes curled upwards, because we're bringing in the heavy hitters, because we want to look awake after a hard night. So sometimes you've got to resort to these guys. I don't use them all the time really, but just clamp, and I just hold them there for a few seconds. And I clamp again. So just clamp down again. And clamping down again. So those are the eyelashes done. And then I'm going to go in with my Max Factor 2000 calorie. This is my staple everyday go-to mascara. It's easy to apply. I'm going to apply a couple of coats of that. This is a great everyday mascara. It doesn't give you stripper lashes, it just gives some nice definition. I've raved about this in some MT's videos. It doesn't clump, it doesn't flake. The main thing for me with the mascara is that it doesn't smudge throughout the day, because there's nothing worse than, going to wash your hands or something and you're looking into the bathroom mirror and you've got these smudgy clumps of mascara that you've been walking around with oblivious all day. Everybody's been able to see. I hate that. So I like something just to put on that I know is going to be there at the end of the day, and it's not going to be down here. So this is a great mascara for that. And then I just put with whatever's left over on the brush, I just put on the lower lashes. And I find that that's fine. I don't want too much definition on the lower lashes today. So you don't want to bring the eyes down, make them look even more tired than they already are. So that's basically the eyes done. And then moving on to cheeks, well, there's what better way to make your cheeks come alive than with a cream blush. I swear by my cream blush, and today I'm using my Maybelline, and this is in Flirty Pink. And I'm using a pink today and not a coral, just because a pink on my skin, it kind of just pops, it just comes to life a little bit more than a coral. And I'm looking for everything that I can use to make my skin come alive. So just going to dab that on. Just in patting motions. Just dab some more on the other side. and it's looking a little bit over the top because I am heavy-handed at the best of times. But we can always tone that down if we need to, just now. But I'm quite liking that. I mean, there's nothing like a pop of pink on your cheeks to make you look awake, to make you look alive. So I don't mind going a little bit overboard. This blush is the one thing where more is more. That's my humble opinion. So, especially when it's a cream blush, because it's just going to meld into the skin, and especially as the day goes on and your makeup wears, it's just going to kind of become one with your skin. So I don't mind going overboard. And then this is just a real skin saver, and that's my MAC cream base in Hush. This is a beautiful highlight, so I'm going to use just a tad of this, just a little bit. I'm going to go in with my ring finger, and I'm just going to tap it across the tops of the cheeks. And this is really nice and subtle, and it just does make your skin look awake. It makes you look awake. It's very, very subtle. I'm not sure if you can even pick that up, because I'm not using any lights today. I'm doing this in natural daylight, so hopefully this will show up, but it's very subtle. And then I always just take a little dab on the end of my nose like that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of powder, just a little dab of powder, just to smooth down the areas that we don't have any cream or illumination on. So I'm going to just use a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on my lower face, but I'm not going to use any where I've put my cheeks, unless you want to dumb down your cheek color. Of course you can put a little bit of powder at this stage, but I'm quite happy with the cheeks, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this. This is my Bourjois, no longer available mattifying powder, no longer available in South Africa. And then for a little bit of bronzer, nothing wakes up your face like bronzer, and cream blush of course, but a little bit of bronzer is always good. So I'm going to take my Physicians Formula, my butter bronzer, and I'm just going to use a light blush brush, powder brush. I'm just going to go in lightly with this, just to warm up the face, because making the face come alive and look awake is also about warming up the skin. Warming up the skin and making it look a little bit sun-kissed. So we're almost finished. Now moving on to the lips. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tissue and I'm just going to blot my lips, because I've got that 8-hour cream on, and that just kind of gives them a little bit of exfoliation and just smooths them out a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my Clarins lip liner. This I think is in Wood Rose. It's been discontinued, but it goes with absolutely everything. And I'm just going to gently line the lips just to give them a bit of definition, and you can skip this step. But I'm doing this because I'm going to add a lip balm, not a lipstick. So I'm using the Clarins Embellissier Lèvres Natural Lip Perfector. And this is one of their new ones, and I absolutely love it. I'm just going to swatch a little bit for you on the hand. It's a beautiful nudie rose pink. Like I need another nudie rose pink, anything, but I just love the texture of this, and it's very nourishing on the lips. It's actually a balm, so it's full of vitamins A and C and E, and it is just lovely. It's a nice fresh lip balm type gloss, and it's not sticky. And it's just so comforting and comfortable to wear on the lips. But I like to just add a little bit of definition with a lip liner, but you certainly don't have to, because this is just such a casual color. And so guys, that is the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.